Let's code some pixel art. I'm going to show you how to code this cozy winter house so that as people answer your questions, the house will appear one pixel or one color at a time. This is an example of the type of project I'm talking about. Here's another design that I made, and as I put something into the answer box, it appears a little bit at a time. But we're going to do this today with the winter house. You can get the winter house or this gingerbread or my other designs by clicking on the link in the description. And you can also use this video to help you code your own design. The first thing you want to make sure is that you already have some kind of pixel art pulled up that is already finished. The next thing I always do is set the percentage to 75 so I can see everything a little bit better. Now I'm going to write in my questions by clicking on the box and typing. I'm also going to answer them. I can do numbers or words, but I want to make sure that they are concrete answers that have one set answer and are not open to interpretation. Here are my questions and answers. Another thing I can do is edit the size or the font or the colors of these. When we code, we're going to code the answer boxes. We're not going to use these ones at all. And I'm going to tell the computer what box I'm coding. And I'm going to tell the computer also what does someone need to type into that box in order for the code to activate. In this case, 9, 10, Sacramento, etc. And I'm going to tell it what color I want it to turn. That's where this code comes in. I do suggest writing it down. It is equals $column, $row, equals answer. When it says column and row, that's how you tell the computer what box you're coding. If it's this one, it's going to be column B. And this one happens to be in all of these rows, 4, 5, 6, and 7. But for the code, you write the first one, which is 4. So for the code for this box, I would write equals $B, $4, equals 9, and you will put whatever your answer is. Let's say we were coding this box. For the code, I would write equals $B. These are all in column B, which is really handy. $8 equals 10. This one will be equals $B, $12 equals Sacramento. When you code a number, you just put that as the answer. When you code a word, you put it as the answer, but you have to put quotes around it, and I'll show you that. So I'm going to code this box. I'm going to pick a color. I'm going to do the darker yellow. Before I start coding, I do want to make sure that I understand where to find this yellow in the paint bucket. Therefore, I'm going to click on it and open up the paint bucket. And look, it is second from the right in the custom colors. That's always good to know where it is. Now I'll click back on this answer box. You never want to write the code for these. You want to make sure you've got this selected. To open up our coding window, I'm going to click on Format, Conditional Formatting. You can see that it started a code for this box over here. I'm going to tell the computer what color I want it to turn. Now I'm going to write my code. Click here and come all the way down to the last one, custom formula is. Now I write that code where I tell the computer the column and the row and what the answer to my specific question is. Equals $B, $4 equals 9. Now this box is technically coded. If it's blank, it'll stay white. If someone types a 9 in it, it'll turn yellow. If someone types a different number that isn't 9, it won't work. What I want to do now is select the rest of the dark yellows to be part of this code. To do that, I'm going to click on Range, move this window out of the way, and I'm going to select the dark yellows in my pixel art. First, I need to hold down the Control button or Command button so I don't lose the box that's already selected as I select more. Then I'm going to click on the pixels that I want to add to this code. You can also click and drag to select ones that are next to each other. And if you click on the wrong color, like that, just click on it again and it'll deselect. Now I've selected all my dark yellows to be part of my code. Take my finger off of Control or Command if you're on a Mac. Carefully slide this window up, and I'm going to do 3 steps. Step 1 is to say OK on the range. Step 2 is to say done on the code. Step 3 is to click on this paint bucket and reset these colors. That's very important. If I don't do that, they'll still stay yellow no matter what. We're done. Let's test it. Click on something else. Come back and delete that 9 by hitting delete or backspace, and the yellows disappear. Put it back in, and then you have to click off of it for the code to activate. That worked. Before I code my next box, I'm going to take the 9 out. The code is still there, but take the answer out so I can see what I have coded. I want my house to be disappearing as I go through these. Now I'm going to code my next box. I have chosen to do the green. I'm going to click and just make sure I know where to find the green. And then I have to click on this box again, the one I'm actually coding. Come over to this coding window. If you closed it, you can open it again by going to Format. Click Add Another Rule, and we'll do it all over again. I'm going to set my color. And now I'm going to write my code, just telling the computer the column and the row and what the answer needs to be. $B, that's the column. $8, that's the row, equals 10. That's the answer to my question. That box is now coded. All I need to do is pull along these other greens. Click on the range, slide this over. Remember to push down Control or Command and select the pixels that are included. Notice that 10 box might be a little hard to see, but that 10 box is still selected. That's important. I want it all to be part of the code. Now I do 3 steps. Hit OK on the range, hit done on the code, and reset the paint bucket. Click off of it so it deselects those pixels, delete the answer, and see it disappear. Put the answers back in, and you can watch it come back. Now I'm going to code this box for Sacramento. I'm going to do this lightest gray blue. And if it's hard for you to see, it's okay. It's just shading. It doesn't have to be perfect. But it's these ones here, a little bit of light on the snow over here. And I don't know if it's in the smoke, but I think it is. It's the one more or less closest to the middle. Let me click over here and see if that's the same one. Yes, it is. So that's a good way to test it out. But it is just shading. It's very artistic. So if you don't get all of them correct, the shades exactly, that's fine. It's still going to look like a house. So I'm going to come down here, choose my color. Now I will write my code. I'm going to write it the way that we were doing it before. Equals $B, $12 equals answer. In this case, my answer is a word. And if it's a word, you just have to do one thing differently, which is put it in quotes. That's it. I'm going to put a quotation mark at the beginning and at the end of Sacramento and watch how that box changes color to show me that it worked. There we go. Now I'm going to add in all of those very light gray blues again. Or not again, but to add to it. So if I were to select one of these medium blues with it accidentally, or I can't really tell the difference, it wouldn't matter that much. These colors are really close in value. They look really similar to each other. That's part of the art of it. But if you change it, that is totally fine. Okay, take my finger off of Control, hit OK, done. Reset. Here we go. So at this point, I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to put the video into a higher speed. I'm going to keep coding, and I am going to do this dark brown now. Click on this dark brown and see where it's located. There it is, next to the green. I like to check too and make sure that I understand where else I can find that brown in the pixel art. It's all these shadows. Now I click on the box I'm actually coding, which is the answer box. Click Add Another Rule. Select the color and write the code. Remember, Venus is a word, so it does need to have quotation marks around it. Other than that, the code is the same as usual. $B, $16 equals Venus. Capitalization doesn't matter for the coding. I did capitalize it because it's a proper noun. Now I'll click on range, slide this over, push down Control or Command, and I will select all of these dark browns. Again, if I had trouble distinguishing between the dark brown and the medium brown, or I clicked one of the medium browns, it would be okay because this is just shading and it doesn't have to be perfect. Hit done, and don't forget to come to the paint bucket and reset. I have 5 questions left and I have 5 colors left. I'm going to keep coding one at a time. I'll speed up the video now and then we'll check it at the end and see how it looks. Okay, when you're finished, the house should have disappeared. And I want to show you, as I click through these boxes, I can see on the right that there are codes associated with each box. Actually, it looks like I left one out right there. So let me go ahead and add that in real quick. I'm just going to assume it's this color. That looks close enough. So I want to tell you too, I also made a troubleshooting video, and let me close this window right here. So this video down here will show you how to, say, add something back in that you forgot, or if something's the wrong color, or if one of these boxes didn't get coded. So now let's go ahead and answer these and see our artwork pop up. And there's our winter house. I hope you have fun coding this project in your own pixel art. Remember, if you click in the link, you can get this house, and there's also a 20 pack of other winter designs.